Hello everyone. Hi, this is Alok Ojha. Welcome back to Classroom series of Modern Indian History. My friends, we are going through series of Anglo-Mysore wars. And by now we have seen the background of Anglo-Mysore war, the first and second Anglo-Mysore war. In today's short session, we are going to focus on what all factors led to culmination of third Anglo-Mysore war. So it won't be a lengthier session. It's just a session of 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Okay, my friends, the students, those who are new to the platform, let me tell you one thing. I have already covered ancient, medieval and modern Indian history as a part of YouTube. This is how I go in the paid classes. Okay, in a gradual step-by-step manner for easier understanding of the concepts. Okay, and the first and the second Anglo-Mysore War PDF, I have already uploaded that on my Telegram channel, history_Alok Ojha. Now, let's focus on third Anglo-Mysore War. Again, here we will go in a gradual step-by-step manner for easier understanding of the concepts. Clear? The first Anglo-Mysore War, it began in 1766 and ended approximately around 1769 with Treaty of Madras. Specifically, the Second Anglo-Mysore War, it began in 1780 and ended in 1784 with the death of Hyder Ali due to cancer, and he was being succeeded by his son Tipu as the next Sultan. So in 1784, Treaty of Mangalore was signed, which ended the Second Anglo-Mysore War. And the third Anglo-Mysore War, it was culminated in 1792. So it was a period span between 1790 to 92. So in this span, there was third Anglo-Mysore War. So what all factors led to third Anglo-Mysore War? What happened within this span of 1784 to 1790, that is a span of 6 years. Okay, let's understand about this. I have portrayed this thing on the map as well. To the south of Mysore was Cochin, and to the south of Cochin was the state of Travancore. Okay, here also it is displayed on the map. Here this is Mysore. To the south of Mysore, one can observe Cochin. Okay, and to the south of Cochin was Travancore. Tipu Sultan had already captured the region of Cochin, and Cochin had become a feudatory state of Mysore now. Now, Tipu Sultan probably had an eye over the region of Travancore, specifically the part of Malabar coast. And what was the economic importance of Travancore? Travancore was majorly known for trade in spices. And at this point of time, specifically, Tipu Sultan had an eye over the region of Travancore. And this situation, specifically, Dharmaraj was the ruler of Travancore. And he was very well aware of the fact that this person, he has already conquered Cochin. And Cochin has become a feudatory state of Mysore. So Dharmaraj knew one thing, that the next target of Tipu Sultan would be the state of Travancore. So what did specifically Dharmaraj do? Dharmaraj started constructing a wall to protect the boundaries of Travancore. He started fortifying specifically the region of Travancore. So on the boundary of Cochin and Travancore, he started constructing a wall. And this wall was referred as Nedum Kota or Travancore lines. Now, while construction of this wall, it is said that Dharmaraj observed one thing. There were two forts which were on the way. Okay, and it was necessary to occupy these forts. These forts were Jalakottan and Kannanur. And both these forts were under Dutch East India Company. So, at this particular point of time, the ruler of Travancore, Dharmaraj, had negotiations with the Dutch East India Company. And he purchased these two forts, Jalakottan and Kannanur, and constructed the Nedun Kota, or Travancore lines. So where did the problem come now? Now it is said that while constructing the wall or while going for the fortification process, certain part of the territories of Cochin were being encroached. Not the entire Cochin, certain parts of the territories of Cochin were being encroached. And this was seen as an act of hostility by Tipu Sultan. Why? Because Cochin was now a feudatory state of whom? Tipu Sultan or Mysore. So at this particular point of time, Tipu Sultan decided to attack the region of Travancore. Okay. Hope the point is clear till here. Clear? I will repeat the point again within a minute for easier understanding of the concept. Continuously, I'm repeating the point. There's a reason behind that, so that you can understand the concept in a gradual step-by-step manner of what were the factors that led to Third Anglo-Mysore War. Clear? Pay attention carefully again. Second Anglo-Mysore War, it ended with Treaty of Mangalore in 1784. And the new Sultan of Mysore was now Tipu, son of Hyder Ali. The Third Anglo-Mysore War, it got initiated in 1790 and ended in 1792 with Treaty of Seringapatam. So, what were the factors that led to Third Anglo-Mysore War and what all things happened within the span of 1784 to 1719? Simple words, span of 6 years. Now, to the south of Mysore was Cochin. To the south of Cochin was Travancore, also depicted on the map. Mysore, Cochin and Travancore. Now, already Tipu Sultan had conquered the region of Cochin. Cochin had become a feudatory state of Mysore. Now Tipu had an eye over the region of Travancore. And the ruler of Travancore, Dharmaraj, knew about this. So what did he do? He started the process of fortification of Travancore on the borders of Cochin and Travancore. And in fact, for this purpose, he also purchased 2 forts from the Dutch East India Company. That is Jalakottan and Kannanur respectively. And he constructed Nedunkota or Travancore lines. Now the problem was, certain part of the boundary line, it extended into the territories of Cochin. And this was seen as an act of hostility by Tipu Sultan. And in 1790, approximately, Tipu Sultan decided to attack Travancore. Travancore was supported by English East India Company. Okay? So English East India Company counterattacked Tipu now. I repeat, Tipu Sultan, he attacked Travancore. Travancore was an ally of English East India Company. English East India Company counterattacked Tipu. But this counterattack of English East India Company on Tipu was a failure. Okay? Because this counterattack was being led by a general whose name was General Meadows. So it was a failure. Now what happened? The entire charge of the Third Anglo-Mysore War went into the hands of another important another important Governor General of Bengal at that time, whose name was Lord Cornwallis. Okay? Let me give you a reminder. As per Regulating Act 1773, there were governors of the respective presidencies. Like there was a separate governor for Bombay, designated as Governor of Bombay. Separate governor of Madras, designated as Governor of Madras. But the Governor of Bengal was designated as Governor General of Bengal. And the first Governor General of Bengal was Lord Warren Hastings. Lord Warren Hastings was succeeded by Lord Cornwallis as Governor General of Bengal. Lord Cornwallis, he is also referred as blue-blooded aristocrat. Okay? Why? Because he belonged to the noble family. So the command of the Third Anglo-Mysore War now slipped into the hands of Lord Cornwallis from General Meadows. And Lord Cornwallis, he was a diplomatic personality. He was an intelligent personality. What did he do? He diplomatically brought Nizam and Marathas on their side. Okay? So now an alliance was being created. Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad, Travancore and English East India Company on one side and Tipu and his two sons on the other side. Okay? So the two sons of Tipu were Abdul Khalik and Muizuddin. This culminated into Third Anglo-Mysore War. Now what happened? English East India Company wanted to conquer the region of Seringapatam. And for that, they went in a step-by-step manner. First of all, they had a plan that they will move to the region of Ambur. From Ambur, they will move to the region of Vellore. From there, they will move to the region of Bangalore. And they will create Bangalore as a base of their operations. And from here, they will attack Seringapatam. This was a plan of Lord Cornwallis. And this plan, to an extent, was successful. Now, English East India Company moved from Ambur to Vellore. They came to the region of Bangalore. They captured or conquered the region of Bangalore and made Bangalore as the base of their further operations. Meanwhile, what did Tipu do? Meanwhile, Tipu, he attacked the Coimbatore fort. So, the first attack, although they have captured the region of Bangalore, the first attack on Seringapatam was a failure again. Okay? So now, English East India Company realized that single-handedly, we cannot fight Tipu Sultan. So English East India Company called all their alliances. That is Marathas, Nizam, Travancore. And finally, it is said that in Third Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu Sultan was being defeated. And finally, in 1792, Treaty of Seringapatam was signed with Tipu Sultan. I'll give you a small example, my friends. What happened after this Third Anglo-Mysore War? Suppose this is Mysore. Just consider this. Okay, this is Mysore. A kind of a round table. Okay? On one side of the table is English East India Company. On other side of the table is Nizam. On the other side of the table is the Marathas. Okay, so precisely speaking, the Mysore, the 50% of the Mysorean state was being occupied by all these three. English East India Company took certain part, like English East India Company, they took the part of Baramahal, Dindigul and Malabar. Marathas, they took the region around river Tungabhadra and its tributaries. Nizam of Hyderabad, he took the region around Krishna to Pennar. So very simple words, suppose this is a Mysore, a kind of a round table conference. From all the sides, certain parts were being taken by its opponents. Certain part was taken by Nizam, certain by Marathas, certain by English East India Company. Mysore Sultanate was just left with 50% of the territories. Apart from this, Treaty of Seringapatam had one more clause. What did English East India Company say to Tipu Sultan? For waging these wars, we have spent hefty amount of money. Where will the money come for? Where will the money come from? How we will, cover up the losses. And for that sake, pay us 3 crore rupees as a war indemnity. 3 crore rupees. Okay. Tipu Sultan said, right now, I won't be able to pay you exactly the amount 3 crore rupees. But for now, exactly now, I would be paying you 1.5 crore rupees immediately. And the rest 1.5 crore rupees, I would be paying back to you in installment. English East India Company said, well, that's fine with us. But as a part of security, we want you to surrender 2 of your sons. Who were they? Abdul Khalik and Muizuddin. So Abdul Khalik and Muizuddin were surrendered by Tipu Sultan to English East India Company apart from paying rupees 1.5 crore rupees to the company. So this is nothing but Third Anglo-Mysore War followed by Treaty of Seringapatam. Hope so, my friends. The first, second and third Anglo-Mysore War is clear. In the coming video, a very short video again of 10 to 15 minutes, I would be coming up with fourth Anglo-Mysore War. And in the future, I would be coming up with the background of Anglo-Maratha wars, the first, second and the third Anglo-Maratha war. Hope so the point is clear, my friends. Okay. Target year 2027, UPSC GS P2I Foundation October batch. The admission for all the batches of October, that is 2026, 2027 and 2028, would be closing on 5th of November. So simple way, 5th of November is the last date for the sale end. Okay. And the price for target year 2027 batch is 21,999. The batches are available in Hindi plus English, that is bilingual mode. A separate batch in Hindi medium, a separate batch in English medium, which will cater to the needs of the aspirant precisely from Southern India and Northeastern India. And use the code that is flashing on your screen, Alok Live. I repeat the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen. Apart from this, if anyone has any kind of a doubt, question or query, they can fill up the form, which is the link of the form is given in the description. Apart from this, also don't forget to download the StudyIQ app. With this, I'll stop my sessions for the day. See you guys with the coming sessions very soon. Thank you and have a wonderful day.